Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. In this week's news, a new DDA director is on the horizon. A freak accident causes a local restaurant to temporarily shut down. And Oxford residents could be charged higher sewer rates. Will it impact you?
Stay tuned, learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. Oxford Village Downtown Development Authority, DDA, is one step closer to appointing a new executive director. Friday, May 12th, a meeting was held and several candidates were interviewed for the job opening. Because several board members were absent, the assembled quorum agreed to postpone selection until May 15th. At the May 15th meeting, a decision was made to make an offer to Stephen Holowicki, and we have since been informed by a reputable source that Holowicki has accepted the position. Currently, Holowicki is the redevelopment administrator for the city of Zanesville, Ohio. His resume shows a strong background in financial, historical renovation, and grant funding. Voted by the 9-member board was 7-0, with Rod Charles and Regina Woodson, for reasons of their own, abstaining from the voting.
The Township of Oxford received potential bad news. They may soon be charged more for sewer services by the Great Lakes Water Authority. The expected increase will be 7.9%, but on the bright side, the increase will not be passed on to residents, according to Township Trustee Jack Curtis, who chairs the Water and Sewer Committee. Curtis said, at this time, the existing sewer funding account can handle the increase, but the account should be reviewed on a regular basis. The Board of Trustees approved the recommendation with a 7-0 vote.
Oxford Village Council reviewed millage rates for 2017 and 2018. The good news is no increase. Councilman David Bailey suggested to Council, since the Village 911 was eliminated, a portion of the savings caused by the decision should be provided in a tax cut for the residents. However, Councilman Eric Dolan reminded Bailey the savings were to be used for village infrastructure repairs and services the village had been unable to perform. Dolan added the savings should allow for financial stability.
Township officials awarded a nearly $260,000 contract to resurface a portion of South Pontiac Street to F. Allied Construction. Out of the 4 companies who submitted bids, F. Allied was not the lowest bidder. However, the township engineer Jim Sharp recommended Allied. The work is expected to begin soon, and we'll keep you updated on it.
If you've taken a walk through Centennial Park lately in downtown Oxford in the last 6 months, you may have noticed the large freestanding decorative clock has not been operating. Well, now the Oxford Village Department of Public Works, headed by Director Don Brantley, and his talented people have rebuilt the clock's movement, gears, motor, and lighting. And they have finished the job with a fresh coat of black paint. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Check it out.
By a 7-0 vote, the Township Board awarded one of 3 available Oxford Township C-Class liquor licenses, and that was awarded to Concho Pearl, the Texas barbecue restaurant. The restaurant is located at 955 South Lapeer Road, where the old Big Boy stood. According to family members Michael and Lee Spake, the building is being remodeled, and the restaurant's new smoker has the ability to process over 1,000 pounds of meat at a time. Watch for their opening date sometime in July.
Casa Real will be out of business for a short time due to a freak auto accident. The 44-year-old woman rammed into the building while parking in the rear of the restaurant, causing extensive damage to the building as well as power outages. Neither the driver nor her 2 passengers were injured.
Oxford Village residents will soon see Republic garbage trucks replaced with the new trucks named GFL. Republic sold to the Toronto-based GFL Environmental Incorporated. A new contract with GFL was approved by the Village Council at a vote of 4-0. According to GFL, the fees will remain the same as with the Republic contract.
Oxford Addison Youth Assistants recently held their annual Youth Recognition Ceremony at the Oxford Elementary School. 33 Oxford and Addison students were recognized and honored for outstanding social achievements. Throughout the evening, Pastor Dave Gerber served as the Master of Ceremonies, and School Superintendent Tim Throne told the audience the district's vision is to create a world-class education today to shape tomorrow's leaders. He finished by saying, "Want everyone to know our vision is already being realized."
That's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories or others, you know what to do. You can catch us right here at OCCTV.org, which is our website, or on YouTube. And of course, you can catch us at Charter Channel 191 or AT&T Channel 99. Whew!
Coming up soon on OCTV, our very own Cody Wright with Sports Report. Then catch Oxford School News with John Ochins. And you won't want to miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles, and this is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Canine Stray Rescue does just that. Rescue stray dogs for new families. But they need your help. Become a volunteer at Canine Stray Rescue League of Michigan. Take dogs for walks, help them socialize with others, and help them get adopted. Fill out an application and help a family add a new member today.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, the outbreak surfaced on the 12th of May and spread quickly, infecting more than 200,000 computers in 150 countries. Institutions and businesses around the world, including hospitals in the UK, the Russian Interior Ministry, and universities in China, have spent much of the last 2 weeks dealing with the rampant malware. In the UK, the malicious software invaded at least 60 NHS trust and boards, preventing doctors from accessing patient records and forcing them to cancel non-urgent procedures. Europe and Russia were hit particularly hard before its advance was slowed when a security analyst in the UK stumbled on a kill switch that effectively shut the software down. Now widely known as WannaCry, the malware is a form of ransomware built using hacking tools that were stolen from the U.S. National Security Agency and dumped online in April. It's unclear what strategy this particular program uses to first get onto a network, but the software is able to spread from each patient zero by itself. Once installed on a machine, the malware encrypts all the files it can find, locking them away from users. The first most people knew of the infection was a pop-up screen informing them that the contents of their computer would be deleted after 7 days unless they paid a Bitcoin ransom equivalent to $300. Despite the high number of infected computers, only around $70,000 worth of ransom had been paid when New Scientist went to press. Some expect this amount to rise significantly as the 7-day deadline approaches, however. The best chance we have of identifying who was behind the attack will come when the ransoms are transferred out of the Bitcoin wallets controlled by the hackers. But Tom Robinson at Elliptic, a company that tracks illegal activity involving Bitcoin, said it may be weeks or months until that happens, given the amount of security the wallets are under from security agencies all over the world. In the meantime, he says, there is no guarantee that paying the ransom will unlock a computer. Until we see evidence that the hackers are decrypting files, he thinks it's a bad idea for anyone to pay up. If nothing else, WannaCry is a reminder of the havoc malware can now wreak on your computer. On the medical front, combining multiple tests could help doctors distinguish between two leading causes of cognitive decline at an earlier age. Being able to separate the earliest signs of Alzheimer's from another degenerative brain condition called dementia with Lewy bodies, or DLB, could be crucial in finding treatments of both kinds of dementia. When someone starts to exhibit mild cognitive impairments, it's often difficult to tell whether these might be the earliest signs of Alzheimer's or DLB or just normal age-related declines in cognition. Yet, this distinction is vital. So far, despite billions of dollars spent on research, progress toward drugs that stabilize or cure dementia have stalled. Many blame the failure on treating people too late and argue that the same drugs might work better if given a decade or two before symptoms fully develop. Now, Dilman Sadiq at University College in London and her colleagues have attempted to rectify this problem by analyzing clinical histories, the results of cognitive tests, and psychiatric interviews with 429 people originally diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment who were monitored for up to 14 years. Each person was diagnosed at one UK hospital between 1994 and 2015. Of this group, 107 progressed to Alzheimer's, 21 to DLB, and 164 remained stable with mild cognitive impairment. The rest developed a mixture of other conditions. Sadiq's team used their findings to identify a variety of tests and symptom profiles that appear to predict which condition a person might get at the earliest stage of the disease. For instance, people who went on to have Alzheimer's scored much worse than those who went on to have DLB on a word memory test. Those who went on to develop DLB, meanwhile, were more likely to report visual hallucinations, Parkinson's-like tremors, and unconsciously acting out their dreams while they slept. Sadiq hopes to build on these results to produce an algorithm to distinguish early-stage disease. We need to replicate this in much larger samples of patients, she says. The results from this study suggest that combined tests could help distinguish between the early Alzheimer's or DLB, but how powerful these are in providing an accurate diagnosis on an individual level still needs to be explored, says Laura Phipps at Alzheimer's Research in the UK. While it's too early for this to be used in the clinic, it represents an important step forward in allowing researchers and doctors to help people with dementia receive a more accurate diagnosis, increasing their chances of taking part in relevant clinical trials, says James Pickett, the head of research at Alzheimer's Society in the UK. I hope that all works out. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
I'm John Ochins, and welcome to the Oxford Wildcats School Update. If it's springtime, it's competition time for the professional development teams in our high school. Team Torque 2137 attended the first Robotics World Championship in St. Louis recently. They made it to the final round. Here's team members Will Fallon and Bradley Taylor.
It is the finals, so it's like
And how many teams or how many alliances are in the Einstein?
There's 6 alliances, 4 teams, so there's 24 teams who make it to Einstein.
So you were one of 6 alliances that made it to Einstein.
Yeah.
And how many robotics teams participated in Worlds altogether?
Just under 400.
Just under 400.
Yeah.
And you ended up in the final 24.
Yep.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. It felt really good, especially considering we have a lot of seniors graduating this year. We got the kind of like when you win an event, you get a blue banner, and then there's teams who, they have a lot of blue banners, teams who get a blue banner every year from different events. And it was nice to get that division blue banner because that's only one step down from winning the whole World Championship.
Yeah. Our DECA business program sends students to Anaheim, California for their international competition. Juniors Sergio Borg and Richard Galbraith selected financial literacy as their topic.
And basically for our project we had to teach financial literacy, and we taught at the middle school, this school, the high school, and Clear Lake Elementary. We had different lessons and different activities and stuff that we did, and then we wrote a 30-page paper and had a 15-minute presentation to summarize all that we did.
Okay, very good. And how'd you do?
We actually performed very well at the competition. We took third at the competition out of 200 groups in our category.
For seniors Lauren Sikorsky and Gracie Freiberg, it was business sourcing and operational research.
And basically we had to come up with a business plan for like a business to improve things in their social, local, and mobile media marketing so that they can like grow as a business in all of those and like get more exposure to the community and to their customers. And we had to create a plan to bring more customers in. So, yeah.
Now, I know that some of the other, and how did you guys do?
At states, we took first, and then internationals, we were top 16. We don't exactly know the placing.
Top 16 out of how many?
Over 200.
This is the first year these kids participated in DECA. 27 groups made it to the international competition. Oxford Gives Back wrapped up another successful project. Laura Merritt is one of the group's teacher advisors. Please.
We had an incredibly successful year. We helped roughly 115 homes in the Orion and Oxford area, and we had almost 800 volunteers.
Weather didn't help though, did it?
It was a little rough this weekend, or the weekend of Oxford Gives Back, but people still came out. It didn't really seem to deter anyone. They were so excited to just go out and help people in our community, especially with things that they knew would make a huge impact for those homeowners.
So you're gonna do it again next year?
Absolutely. We're hoping to make it even bigger and better. We want people from every single building in the district. We want every school represented. We want more community members involved. So that's our goal, is to make it bigger and better.
That's the Oxford School Update for this week. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local. Marine Corporal Patrick Gallagher came here from Ireland. Serving his new country was what he wanted to do. It was the Vietnam War. He was there. Funny thing about war, protecting your buddies becomes number one. On an early July morning of 1966, in a foxhole near Canlow, in came an enemy grenade. Gallagher quickly kicked it out, and it exploded. Another came in. Gallagher threw himself over it to protect his buddies. It didn't go off. He quickly threw it out. It exploded. He won the Navy Cross and later gave his life in that war. There's a new missile destroyer coming along. It should be called the Patrick Gallagher. With your help, it could be. Go online to Patrick Gallagher USMC petition to lend your support.
What's up, Wildcat fans? Cody Wright here with the Sports Report. It's been a busy week, so let's just dive in and take a look at how our athletes performed. Boys baseball has been winning overall this season. The varsity club took on Clarkston here at home Monday in a doubleheader, the first two games of a three-game series. The first game, Clarkston managed 2 runs in the first inning, facing Gingell on the mound. The score held for a while until we brought a balance, bringing in some runs. The game was a battle up until the end when Wildcats hit the field in the top of the 7th, ahead 4-3, and Gingell closed the game with 3 quick outs. The second game, Wildcats struggled and found themselves trying to make a comeback, trailing 3-1. Relief pitcher Jack Kitchener took the mound and let only 1 run in. However, at the plate, we weren't able to bring in any more, falling in the second game 4-3. Wednesday, we then hit the road for the last game of the series against Clarkston. A high-score game left the series in our favor, final score 9-7. The JV club also took on Clarkston on Tuesday and Wednesday, both on the road. The JV boys struggled big time and fell both games. The first game 11-2, the second game 9-2. And of course, freshmen played as well, taking on Stony Creek on Tuesday on the road in a doubleheader. The young up-and-comers brought their A game and defeated Stony 5-0 the first game and 14-4 the second. Not a bad week overall for our baseball program as we get closer to the end of the spring season. Boys varsity lacrosse has a big week as they captured the title of league champs on Monday at home against Royal Oak. Final score 16-4. On Tuesday they then took on Green Hills High School and it was senior night. We honored about a dozen great athletes and wished them good luck for the years to come. All the excitement, however, did not take the team's edge off as we took down Green Hills 12-6. Team leader in goals Spencer Petoskey was absolutely dominant with 5 goals, as well as great performances from Dryden Calcaterra, Ethan Cutler, and goaltender de Blasi. Good luck to the team in the upcoming games and congratulations on the success so far. The girls varsity lacrosse team also played this week and took on Clarkston on the road. As we know, girls lacrosse compared to men's is a complete different game as far as rules go and the way it's played. The girls struggled on Monday and fell to Clarkston to a final score of 20-4. Girls varsity soccer played as well on the road on Monday and took on Lake Orion. The game was very tightly played and back and forth, and good defense and goaltending brought us to a tie by the end of the two halves, 1-1. A tie is always hard to swallow, however it does give each team a point, which is certainly better than a loss. And last but not least, girls varsity softball. The girls took on North Branch here at home on Monday in a doubleheader and limited North Branch to only 1 run out of the 2 games. The first game we shut them out with a strong win 4-0 and the second game 5-1. The very next day we took on Lapeer in another doubleheader. Once again at home, the first game we absolutely pummeled them 12-0 and the second game 14-6. Girls softball really not letting up this week and the scores reflect just that. Well, that should just about wrap up this week's report. Don't forget that this spring season is just about over, and if you haven't made it out to see some games, now's your chance. To get info on upcoming events, go to oxfordathletics.org. Records, statistics, and schedules can all be found there. Once again, that is oxfordathletics.org. While you're at it, check us out at OCCTV.org. Our coverage of these games can be viewed on our YouTube channel, which can be accessed through the website, or you can catch them on your local channel on Saturdays and Sundays between 1 and 6. Again, that is OCCTV.org. And that should do it for this week's report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next time. I'm Cody Wright. Go Wildcats.
Woke up and for the first time, the animals were gone. Our clocks are ticking now, so before our time is gone, I cover my eyes, still all I see is you.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, Ford Motor Company on May 17th said it plans to cut 10% of its salaried employees in North America and Asia to reduce cost amid slowing sales and growing investments in new technology. The automaker will offer voluntary and early retirement and special separation packages to roughly 1,400 white-collar workers in the 2 regions combined and expects the cuts to come by the end of September. Ford said 2/3 of the offers will be made in North America, although it doesn't know how the acceptance rates will break down by region. Ford said nearly all of its skilled teams will be affected except for product development, Ford Credit, manufacturing, IT, and global data and analytics. A Ford spokesman said the reductions will affect corporate staff, including the finance, legal, human resources, communications, government, marketing, sales, and service departments. Ford targeted Asia and North America because other regions across the globe have either already faced recent cuts or are too small to be pruned. Ford in Europe has cut hundreds of salaried and manufacturing jobs in recent years as part of its turnaround plan that's allowed it to make a profit each of the past 2 years. It also has reduced jobs in South America. The Middle East and Africa was spared because it's a new emerging business unit, Ford said. Shareholders complained about the lagging stock price and asked why Ford was investing in the future if it hurts profits today. Since Mark Fields became CEO in 2014, Ford's stock price has fallen nearly 40%. Ford said it will give employees details of the buyout packages in June. And over at Magna International has developed a pair of camera-equipped mirrors that allow drivers to see video of their surroundings as they drive. It's the latest development in the Canadian auto part maker's efforts to gain a stronger foothold on the onboard camera market. The ClearView system is designed to help improve visibility while changing lanes, backing out of a parking space, or driving with a vehicle full of passengers or cargo. The exterior side view mirror combines a self-cleaning camera with a traditional side view mirror to display a live video feed inside the vehicle. The camera is mounted on the mirror beyond the widest point of the vehicle to achieve a maximum field of view, enhance the driver's awareness, and improve safety, the company said in a statement. The new hybrid mirror can also come equipped with turn signals, ground illumination, and surround view cameras. The interior mirror features the ability to switch between a traditional rear view mirror mounted on the windshield and a full-size video display on the infotainment screen. The video comes from a live feed from a camera mounted at the back of the vehicle and provides an unobstructed view of what's behind. It's designed to help drivers when passengers or cargo inside the vehicle restrict the driver's view using the traditional rear view mirror. Nice job. And on the recall front, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles said May 12th it's recalling more than 1.25 million pickups worldwide to address a software error linked to reports of 1 crash death and 2 injuries. The erroneous code could temporarily disable the side airbag and deployment of seatbelt pretensioners, which reduce seatbelt slack during impacts during a vehicle rollover spurred by a significant underbody impact such as striking on-road debris or driving off-road, the automaker said. The company will reprogram computer modules in the affected vehicles to address the error. An FCA spokesman said the likelihood of an incident was very low because a sequence of events was needed to cause an incident. There is no definitive proof the error was involved in 2 of the accidents, one of which resulted in a fatality, but the automaker was conducting the recall proactively, he said. The recall covers 1.02 million 2013 to 2016 Ram 1500 and 2500 pickups and 2014 to 2016 Ram 3500 pickups in the U.S., 216,000 vehicles in Canada, over 21,600 in Mexico, and over 21,500 outside North America, the automaker said. Fiat Chrysler said the recall would start late in June. If the error code appears in an affected vehicle during operation, the problem could temporarily be addressed by turning the vehicle off and then on, the company said. The automaker told the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration it began investigating the issue in December after it received notice of a suit involved in a 2014 Ram 1500 in which the airbag failed to deploy in a rollover crash. Fiat Chrysler has been working to move faster to address vehicle issues after being fined twice in 2015 by NHTSA. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.